talked a little JUCO.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he remembered when he broke your record there. How did you follow? Did you follow him at all when he came in, or when he was in JUCO when he broke the record?
I didn't. Now, I think 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I was helping out at Phoenix College, another junior college in the area, and Cody had just left Scottsdale, and that's one of the Phoenix College's rivals. And the coaching staff at Phoenix told me about Cody. He said this kid just left Scottsdale and was throwing the ball all around, and he's a stud. Went to Iowa. That's kind of when I first heard of him. And then when his name came up for transfer reason, it kind of clicked that that's kind of the first time I remember hearing about him.
And when that first happened, I guess several months ago, what kind of discussions did you have with Coach Holtz?
The crazy thing was he actually went to the high school that my dad was a head coach at for about 6 or 7 years. Now, my dad didn't coach him. He had left, but my dad lived a block from the school still. And so my dad knew a lot of people at the school still. And I think it was good to be able to call my dad and he could talk to people about Cody, and then I still knew some junior college people in Arizona. And so I called them and just said, hey, how's this kid? What's your interaction with him? Is he a good kid character-wise? I think that's important with transfers. You want to make sure you're bringing a kid in here his senior year. Is he going to fit? Is he going to work? And a lot of that has to do with character, work ethic, and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was good to be able to talk to a lot of people about Cody and how he was, how he worked, especially people that, didn't have an interest either way.
I know your primary focus on the receivers, but going back to your quarterback days, one thing that I thought was interesting, he said yesterday, is that obviously in JUCO he played in a wide open offense.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to Iowa and it's a pro style under center. Now he's coming back here in a more spread and he feels he's more comfortable. How do you think that he'll fit in here as opposed to maybe Iowa?
I think he'll fit. Watching his tape from Scottsdale, I mean, they were throw it every play, spread, fast. And so, I mean, I don't know what he did. And he probably threw it 500 times a year there. And so, and I've said this in the past, when you throw it 500 times a year, that means in practice, you're throwing it 150 times a day in practice, and so you make all the throws, you see all the reads because that's all you practice, and I think going to Iowa, when he's more under center stuff, it's going to help him here too because we're going to do a little mix, and so he kind of understands that, but then also that spread stuff that he's doing now, his experience at Scottsdale will help him here.
Obviously, when a new quarterback comes in, receivers have to adjust. From that point of view, the receiver side, how have you seen them kind of adjust?
Well, they worked hard this summer. They worked hard this summer, and they were out there throwing, 3-4 times a week. All our guys worked their tails off this summer to do exactly what you're saying, get that timing, get that rhythm, because there is things between quarterbacks and receivers, that timing that, the guys on this shoulder, I'm going to go here. There's all that little things because, Division I college football, the holes aren't huge, and so you got to be on point, got to know where they're going to be, and so I think the summer helped, and then this training camp, the first 4 or 5 days has been good.
Do you think he looks like a player that's only been in this office for 5 days?
He's done good. I think all our quarterbacks are doing good things, and we got to continue to help him out at receiver and make some more plays for him. But I think they're coming along good.
He said when he was growing up and then at Scottsdale, the name Tim Rattay was almost like godlike when it came to especially a quarterback room. Just kind of, he said, it's almost like awestruck by the name, and then, but he had that relationship with
he knew of my dad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it kind of makes it interesting that he come full circle to come here and on the program that you're a coach of.
Yeah, no, it is. It's pretty weird. I mean, and my dad's one of the winningest high school coaches in Arizona, and so, I mean, if you're a football coach or play in Arizona, you've probably heard of my dad. I mean, he's won 6 or 7 state championships. So, but it is kind of funny that he went to the school that my dad coached at and lived right down the road, and then went to Scottsdale, and now he's here. And we're all glad he's here. He brings a lot, character, leadership, work ethic, all that stuff. And but it is kind of funny the circle that he took to get here.
Non-Cody question, Carlos. What have you noticed from him? It seems like he's making plays all over the field.
He's grown up. He's understanding now how to how to become a college football player. How, studying, watching film from a mistake and getting better. That's what we try to do. Everyone's going to make a mistake. We're human, but we try to make the mistake, watch it on tape, and go out the next day and not do the same mistake. And that's what I've been impressed with Carlos, and I'm proud of him because he's starting to realize how to be a college football player. Some kids come in out of high school like that already, and some kids kind of have to learn it, and a guy like Sterling Griffin in my room, he can see how he works and see how he does. I think that helps, but Carlos has taken it upon himself to grow up and to really try to become a better receiver, and he's doing a good job. We got a long way to go, but he's doing a good job.
Coach, go ahead.
Is it kind of surprising that he is making these leaps because he was out during the spring? I mean, that had to be a little bit of a setback, but it seems like it hasn't really bothered him.
He just, he's working. He's working. He's a talented player. And again, I think it's more that he's decided to take coaching and decide in his mind that I want to become a better player. So he takes practice serious. Every rep he takes out there, he goes full speed. He's very coachable. He wants to learn. He wants to get better, and he's a bright kid. He's smart, so he can pick up on it fast. And I think the biggest thing is that he wants to now, and you see it every day. I told him after practice today it was his best practice, and because he got a lot better from yesterday to today.
Coaches talked about the outside receiver group as a whole being able to get off of press coverage better this year than they did last year. Going to put a little bit of spotlight on you. Is that coaching? Is it players themselves and having faster players? What is it, or is it a combination of both?
It's coaching. I got to get my guys right. I get my guys right. No, we work on it, and a lot of it's technique. And understanding leverage on the corner and making your move on the line of scrimmage, and a lot of things we work every day. And because there's always going to there's good football players in this league, and you're not going to run by everybody. So you got to use your technique, because you got to use your technique to get on top of them and stack them and do all that stuff. So we constantly harp it and work on it. But yeah, it's on me. I'll take it.
This past spring was the first time in his career Sterling Griffin's been healthy for a spring. How much has that made an impact to where he is right now?
He looks really good right now. He looks like a different person right now. He's running well. He had a great summer, and I challenged him after the spring. He had a good spring. It still wasn't to where it needed to be, but I challenged him this summer to have a great summer. Going into his senior year, to really focus and say, all right, I'm going to be as healthy as I can be, and I'm going to do whatever I can to have my best year, my senior year. And he's done it the first 4 days. He's been the leader of our group. He works his tail off every day, and he's running a lot better now. So I'm excited where he's at. We just got to keep getting him better.
Anything else?
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.